Hello everyone, Powerful Swagger here, and today we're going to be doing another Reddit read. This story is going to be coming off of I Am the Devil. It was posted there 12 hours ago, and it's coming from True Unpopular Opinion that was posted 1 day ago. The original title is Going No Contact with Your Stupid Boomer Parents is Cruel and Ungrateful Behavior. So this is totally going to be around the election and how a lot of Democratic/liberal people are cutting off conservative people who voted for Trump and others because they've multiple times tried to warn who Trump is, how much they dislike him, how much he's going to fuck up this country, and those people didn't listen. And now they also always vilified liberals and Democrats and things like that, saying how much we hate America and we're the enemy within. And Trump specifically said he wants to put the National Guard against us and things like that. So now liberal/Democratic people are cutting off their conservative MAGA counterparts. And yeah, that's reasonable. Let's get into it and read the bad opinion that this is probably going to be. It doesn't matter if they have different politics from you, skeptical of your choices/lifestyle, or even criticize you unfairly. They're your parents. They gave you life. Unless they are horribly physically abusive to you, going no contact is childish and self-centered. Because, mental abuse is just not a thing. No parent has ever mentally abused their child. Yeah, no, just because they're your parents doesn't give them, this magic, oh, I'm always going to be a part of your life no matter what I say or do. That's not how it works. Just because you're a parent to a child doesn't give you the right to always have access to said child. When they're adult, if they don't want to be around you, they have full rights to not be around you. I'm guessing this is an older person whose children recently cut them out and they're real mad about it, which sucks. I'm sorry your family cut you out, but you made choices and those choices have consequences. Edit 1, lol, looks like this is truly unpopular. Edit 2, I'm a millennial, not a boomer. I don't know about that. But if they say that's the case, that's the case. Okay, so you're just a dumb young person. Edit 3, look at all the triggered, narcissistic, parent-hating Gen Z responses. Lol, 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 lol. Why is it narcissistic to hate parents who don't listen to you, don't respect you, don't care what you think, have to say anything like that? That's not narcissistic, that's having boundaries. Final edit, the fact that so many mentally ill Redditors have derided me, my reasoning, my motives, my family, or assumed any number of incorrect things about me shows how this fits perfectly in this sub. Thanks for validating my worldviews. Sorry I didn't respond to a single one of you. Too busy loving my parents despite their many flaws. See, and that the fact that so many mentally ill Redditors, because they're Redditors and they disagreed with you, they're mentally ill. Or because they cut off their parents, they're mentally ill. That says a lot about you as a person. Way more than it does about them. Yeah, it sounds like this person just, their parents have a lot of hate in their heart. And that's why they probably voted for Trump. They're talking like they believe differently from their parents. They're a Trump supporter just like their parents. And that's why they think this is all stupid. Because their sister or their brother cut them and their parents off because of the way they voted and the way they act. And of course, they are right. I could be making assumptions that are not true. What I feel like might be happening in this post. First comment, which we know the OP didn't respond to any of these. My mother is a loathsome drug addict who cares not what's right, but what's convenient. I owe her nothing. My father, I loved, but he's dead and has been that way for 2 years. Somebody responded to that. I'm sorry for your loss. I hope you're doing well. Somebody else responded to that. Condolences. I hope this isn't the predicament OP was referring to. They are. They said parents, period. They gave you life, so you must love and respect them. Unless they're punching you in the face, you must love and respect them. Next comment. I have a great relationship with my parents. They are/were wonderful people, but I'm not going to tell someone not to go no contact with their parents. Some people have cruel and ungrateful parents. Do you think people should stay in abusive relationships? Somebody responded to that. I have a close relationship with my mom. She's great, a very cool boomer-aged lady. My mom went no contact with her family before it was cool. For some reason, my brain wasn't processing it. 30 years ago, because most of her family was into drugs and getting arrested. My mom didn't want us growing up like that. Now my siblings and I are all successful folks without drug problems or arrest records. Meanwhile, I don't have a single cousin who hasn't spent time in foster care or had their own kids spend time in foster care. I imagine if OP'd asked people who have cut off their families, they would have dozens of stories of abuse, neglect, disrespect, and worse. It's not just you voted for the wrong guy in these cases. It's often emblematic of a problem that has been around around for decades. People want families that love, respect, and protect them. When they don't find that, they look for that outside of their birth families and leave them behind. 100%. That is very well put. Next comment. Emotional abuse can be much worse than physical. So many people report this, and no one owes you a relationship. And well, that's another thing. Physical abuse automatically brings emotional and mental abuse, because the person who's supposed to protect and love you is punching you in the face. How are you supposed to just reconcile that? Somebody responded to that. I work with people who have experienced domestic violence. I've seen people who have been stabbed, shot, thrown through windows, set on fire, the whole gambit. Every single person has said the same thing. I can handle the physical abuse, but it's the emotional abuse that wore me down. That's sad. Somebody responded to that. Emotional abuse leaves you feeling like a shell of who you were and like you aren't even human. It makes you doubt literally everything about your life and who you are. It's rough. People discount it because it doesn't leave physical marks, but the emotional marks are left for a lifetime. It's 100% true. Even going to like therapy and trying to work through your traumas and issues and things, it's still something that stays with you, because you know the fact that it was trauma to begin with means it's never going to go away. Not fully anyways. Like I said, you can go to therapy and start working through things to accept the way things are or the way things were a bit better, to help you look towards the future and at yourself. But yeah, the damage is still there. Let's move over to Am I the Devil and see what the comments are there. The title for Am I the Devil in quotes and every other letter being either big case or little case. Ungrateful. Comments say, first one, the qualification of physically abusive is certainly a choice. Somebody responded to that. No, horribly physically abusive. OOP thinks some physical abuse is okay, and I'm going to guess that that's the line between okay and horrible is within spitting distance of whatever OOP inflicts on their own kids, right? Somebody responded to that. Also, mental abuse is okay. Again, somebody responded to that. Apparently, sexual abuse is okay too. My rebuttal to people who say there's no reason ever to go no contact with parents. Oh, so you think child sex abuse is okay then, right? Somebody responded to that. I bet they think spanking doesn't count. That's not abuse, it's discipline. That is also, now they straight up, that is what they believe. Next comment. I think kids should put up with verbally abusive racists because they chose to have kids. That was all in quotations. They're basically summing up what the person said. So somebody quotes him and then responds. They gave you life. They didn't and couldn't receive consent. Having kids was for them. That was the response. They didn't and couldn't receive consent. Another quote. Unless they were horribly physically abusive to you. Person responds, I'm going to be real honest here. Voting to take away rights from your children, especially rights you yourself enjoyed, is abusive. It may not be legally codified, but voting for your daughter to die if she has an ectopic pregnancy, I don't think I said that right, is abusive. Voting for your daughter-in-law to be deported or a million other injustices is abuse. I'd also agree with that. Quoted, going no contact is childish and self-centered. They respond, looks at a specific political party, looks again, then a third time. I'm sorry, but they are the epitome of childish and self-centered. Almost anything done to survive the childish and self-centered things they voted for and will do is just survival. Like, maybe if parents don't want to be vilified and cut off for their political opinions, they would actually think at all, and then maybe think for 2 seconds about someone other than themselves, or FFs, even themselves, with actual thought. Maybe for Medicare and Social Security are cut off, which I am so afraid of happening. I don't know or FFs, I don't know what that supposed to mean. Somebody responded to that while quoting the main post. I'm going to be real honest here. Voting to take away, they're quoting the comment before. I'm going to be real honest here. Voting to take away your children's, especially rights you yourself enjoyed, is abusive. Somebody says, also, you just know that people like OOP, no physical abuse could ever be enough to justify going no contact. Like, someone could be beating their kids black and blue every day and OOP would still find excuses for them. It seems like they're just like, oh no, if you've got parents, you gotta love your parents. Somebody responded to that. Yeah, in my opinion, they typed an awful lot of words to just say, I grew up to be just as shitty and self-centered as my parents, and I'm proud of it. Yeah, that's true. Somebody responded to that. This is giving, I was beaten/spanked, and I turned out fine, so everyone else is blowing child abuse disguised as discipline out of proportion. Someone responded to the comment, quoting, maybe before Medicare and Social Security are cut off. They say, my Republican older family have actually said they aren't worried because they're going to check who voted for Trump, and only those who didn't will be cut off. The loyal people won't be hurt, only the traitors. They're going to get curb stomped over the next 4 years and have the nerve to be surprised about it. Yeah, 100%. That is what's going to happen to a lot of Trump supporters, is they think they're under this umbrella to protect them, and that umbrella doesn't exist. It's going to be bad for you. And just like it's going to be bad for the rest of us. Yeah, everybody's obviously saying this person's crazy, because they are. Comment down below, let me know what you think. We can have a conversation. I appreciate you clicking on this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. And remember, try to be kind out there.